Yo, what is going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Rider Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Kamen Rider Revice episode 30. And this is we kind of like a back to form kind of episode, kind of a cool down, not really a filler type of thing, but you know, kind of a cool down kind of episode. Still progressing the main plot, stuff like that. But so this episode starts off with Iki is at a high school reunion. He's like meeting all of his old high school friends, his like soccer buddies, stuff like that. We see that one dude, Saraba. Yeah, we see a Saraba, and this guy is actually the voice actor for Vice. But Saraba, he's basically there. He comes in, he was the most popular guy in school, all that good shit. And then good stuff, my bad. And him and Iki start catching up, things like that. When I first saw like the preview for this episode, I thought he was gonna be like a bully. I don't know, I just felt like he just had that aura about him where I felt like, oh, this guy's gonna be a dick, he's gonna be a bully, he's gonna be weird. Like that's what I thought he was gonna be like. But overall, he kind of wasn't. You know, he was like, you know, a jock or whatever. He still wore like the Leatherman jacket from high school and whatever. He was like a lot of popular guy kind of bully stereotypes that he had going on. But he said that he was like, you know, he kind of brags about being popular and stuff like that. So we also get the introduction to another character named was Junko, and Junko was one of Iki's soccer buddies. He was one of Iki's soccer buddies and stuff like that. We see that he's mad at Iki about something, but Iki doesn't remember what he's talking about. Iki doesn't freaking know. But Junko is just being like overall just really pissed off at Iki. We see that Junko, he finds out that Junko has also stopped playing soccer. He's given up playing soccer, and he's also trying to be a voice actor. Same thing with Saraba. Saraba also is like he actually is like a voice actor. But we see that Iki and Vice actually do get invited to be get invited to be on an interview with a like popular like radio station, and they we finally get the return of base form. You know, base form, Revice, stuff like that. Kind of, I miss this form. I miss the base form. We've been seeing all these other forms lately and stuff that kind of miss the old base form. You know, kind of maybe I kind of almost forgot like what does base Revice look like. But yeah. So after they do that interview, stuff like that, we see that he tries to talk to Junko, but you know, Junko's like kind of like being irrational with Iki. He tells him like, he said, hey, what did I do? Like Iki like doesn't remember. Iki's like, what did I do? If whatever I did, I'm sorry for it, I apologize, stuff like that. And you know, he's like, Junko's like, you're scaring me. I'm like, what are you talking about? How is he scaring you? Like Junko's like, what's happening here? And yeah, but also everybody also kind of heard that Iki is basically like a Kamen Rider now. Basically, like he's a superhero basically, you know, these days. And everybody's like, what is that? But yeah, so out of nowhere we get attacked by a phase 1 deadman, a phase 1 demon. And it's been a while since we've seen like regular, you know, demons. The only demons we've really seen are like the dead man and all the Giftarians, you know, stuff like that. We haven't seen a phase 1 regular demon in a while. So someone created this thing. But we see that they end up fighting it. It's like a plant-based kind of deadman. They're fighting it. Yeah, Iki and Vice are fighting it, and for some reason this deadman is only attacking Iki. Like it's not attacking anybody else. It's like completely ignoring Vice. It's only attacking Iki. And it also has like it can also shoot like, you know, spores of like different like gases, like, you know, he can shoot like different spores and stuff like that. And they're fighting it all throughout this studio, all throughout this building. And we get the return of some of Iki's like older forms, like some of his like older like rider based forms. We get to see the lion form again. We get to see the mammoth form again. the praying mantis form, which is supposed to be Gaim. We got to see that form again. It was really dope to actually see these forms come back and things like that. And while they're fighting that dead man, it ends up getting away. And that's when Iki comes out. He comes out. Everybody's like giving him. He didn't beat it, but giving him praise and stuff like that, calling him a hero, stuff like that. We see Junko's there. Junko walks off, and he was like, "Man, hero my ass." Like, I'm like, yo, like, what's going on with Junko? This is actually gonna be a 2-part episode too. So while all this is going on, we actually see that oh my god, sister Sakura, oh my god. We actually see that Sakura has joined the weekend. She's wearing the weekend's outfit and all that stuff, and we get some backstory on Phoenix's director Akashi. And we see that Akashi, it actually used to be a part of Noah and was actually Katsuragi's superior. So yeah, he was actually Katsuragi's superior, and he looks completely the same. Like, he hasn't aged at all. So Katsuragi, he comes up with the idea. He basically comes up with that he might also be, that Akashi might also be a descendant of Gif, and that would make sense of why he still looks exactly the same from all the way back in the Noah days. But we see that Katsuragi also has Ginta, has their dad, has the siblings' dad in their custody, and he's basically asleep right now. We don't see him or anything. We just know that he's there, and he said physically he's fine, but mentally he's still kind of messed up. So while that's happening, we get a good look at Daiji, see what Daiji's up to. He goes and talks to George and asks him about, hey, I want to start tailing the director, and George is like, you don't have to rush things, stuff like that, because like he wants to get rid of the rotting roots that are inside of Phoenix, and create Phoenix as a force for good and stuff like that. And yeah, so also the doctor lady, she gets a lot of lines in this episode, actually making her more of a relevant character. Now, I don't know her name or anything, but she's there kind of giving some advice to Daiji, telling him like, oh, you need to be your own person, stop trying to be Hiromi, because Daiji started drinking black coffee and stuff, because Hiromi used to drink black coffee and stuff. So still no news about Hiromi in this episode at all. The only thing we know is that George gave him the DVD they made movie of him, but other than that, like, we don't know information about Hiromi or anything like that. But yeah, that's basically what Daiji's up to. And yeah, the only action we actually get in this episode is actually is not real. Actually, we see that Iki does try to meet up with Junko, and tries to meet up with Junko. But back in the fight where Iki and Vice were fighting the Phase 1 dead men, it did something to them where it shot out like a purplish kind of mist. And also we see that Akashi ended up sending a dead man, and then this dead man looked like Vice. So I guess they got this Phase 1 dead man was supposed to be a distraction, so the real demon could affect Iki in some kind of way, because after the fight's over, Iki can't talk to Vice. Like, every time he was trying to talk to Vice wouldn't respond. So he ends up going back home to the bathhouse, and Saraba, Saraba's there, and he's talking to him about Junko and stuff like that, and it's saying that you and Junko, you need to figure your stuff out, and basically we get flashbacks of them playing soccer, stuff like that, and Iki basically made a promise to him, but Iki doesn't remember that promise, and I guess that's what Junko is really mad. Junko is actually mad about. So what happens is we see that Iki ends up going to the soccer field. And he ends up going to the soccer field, and it turns out Junko isn't there. But out of nowhere, they get attacked by a dead man, a Phase 3 dead man. But It's a dead man from the past. It's a dead man that it was the lawyer, the guy who was a lawyer. When he became a dead man, it was him. But for some reason, but also people are calling Iki a egoist in this episode a lot, which was weird. But he ends up fighting him, and he's talking to him. He's basically talking to him. He's talking to Iki, and Iki's saying all these things. He's saying all these old things that he was saying about Iki, saying that Iki was like, always sticking his nose into people's business. He was always a busybody, stuff like that. A bunch of old stuff that Iki doesn't do anymore. A bunch of older things that, Iki's gotten over, and he realizes that, and he's like, this isn't right. So while he's fighting him, and he's fighting him throughout the city, and it's a dope fight. Like the speed, he turns into Thunder Gale, and the speed and the agility, like the special effects, it looks so freaking cool in this episode, in this fight. So, but turns out this fight isn't real. Turns out none of this is actually happening. On the outside, Iki is actually attacking everybody. Like, he's still in the bathhouse talking to Saraba, but he's like attacking everybody. He's swinging his arms around everybody. We see that Daiji and another random Phoenix soldier is there trying to calm him down. We see that everybody's trying to calm him down. His mom, their mom is there. Sakura's there. We also saw that Tamaki. Tamaki tries to help him, but then Tamaki tries to help him, but then Iki ends up punching Tamaki in the face. Like, it was funny the way they did that, very animated. But yeah, turns out this fight isn't real, and none of this actually happening. We see that Iki is like stuck in this little stuck in a pocket dimension that he has to get out of in his head, and they ended up tying him down and things like that while he's stuck in this other little world or whatnot. Also, we got to see Aguilera in this episode, but we see her in a whole new outfit. She has like all this leather on, leather jacket, leather pants, all that stuff, just and she's burning her dress. She's burning her red dress, and when she burns her dress, she says goodbye, dead men's. So yeah, we see that that's the only little thing of her that we get. That's the only little thing of Aguilera that we get. I'm glad that we're getting something new with Aguilera, because we haven't seen her ever since that whole thing with the haven't seen her ever since that whole thing with GIF, after GIF slapped her and all that stuff, which was still, I think, very disrespectful. But other than that, this is a pretty good episode. We actually see, while they've tied Iki down, we see that Saraba comes out of the bathhouse. He basically comes out of the bath with a really weird, sinister look on his face. Yeah, and the episode kind of ends off right there. So I don't know. Is that Veil? Has Veil possessed Saraba? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he's possessed Saraba. But yeah, that's basically where the episode ends off right there. Pretty good episode. I love the Thunder Gale fight, even though that fight wasn't a real fight. I love that this fight was actually. This fight was actually really, really cool. I'm also wondering what happened. How was Iki in this little pocket dimension? What exactly happened? What possessed him, or did something to him to put him and Vice in this little pocket dimension? Because I feel like Vice was in it first, because Vice wasn't responding to him when Iki tried to talk to him. So who's in this pocket dimension? Who put him in this pocket dimension? I don't know. Veil, probably, because Veil just loves putting people inside of crap, I guess. But other than that, though, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kamen Revice. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What you think? How you think part 2 is gonna be? How you feeling about this episode? Because also, the whole thing with Junko, do you think Junko is the one who made this dead man and stuff like that? You guys let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember, stay kitchened.